Hello everyone, I'm back for one last time with the LEGO Creator 3-in-1 Main Street set for 2021. This is the C model, the third official build of it, the one that uses the fewest of the set's 1,459 pieces. I've already done a video about the middle one that uses the medium number of pieces, and of course the main model. I did a full review about that, so definitely check that out on the channel. And again, this set cost me $140 US, and I did all the builds and unbuilds and rebuilds on Twitch. Really quickly, with this build, these are the minifigures as they get configured. You know, it's just swapping the parts around between them. The side build here is definitely something you wouldn't normally expect from especially a C model of building. And it's substantive and it definitely adds. The build of this tree here is so weird. It's definitely the strangest tree from LEGO that I've ever put together. But in the end, you know, as long as you don't notice just quite how T-posy it is, it actually, you know, from a distance, it actually kind of works out. I wish there was a little bit more movement to it, but it's not too bad. Got the little street lamp over here. Some of the leaves have fallen off, or maybe those are just plants down on the ground. Got the park bench over here and a little fountain off to the side as well. That's nice. They also set you up with a basic traffic light over here. Now, that's not going to work particularly well with most configurations of layouts and cities and combinations of buildings and things, but you can always move it wherever you want. It's a good start. So what strikes me most positively about this building on the whole, before I start looking at the individual details, is just that there is really good cohesiveness of the colors. I mean, when you look back at the original set that this is based on, you know, the full main build, you don't see this in it. You see maybe a portion of it, but overall this kind of feels, I don't know, passable, more than passable. If it had just a few color swaps, I think it actually could have been an A model for a set. I mean, it's actually quite decent, quite respectable, I think. The build techniques, most of the build techniques are very straightforward. It's mostly using just, you know, studs on top of studs, everything right side up. Construction, a little bit of studs on the side just to fill in some gaps here, and also to put a little bit of the detailing around this top level. This level really adds so much to it. You know, without that, just looking at these things down here, they look relatively blocky, but this, I think, pulls everything together all the way to the ground even, not just in this particular area. And even though this is a C model, it did use up quite a respectable portion of the available pieces. Now, down at the ground level, looking at the inside, this could be a post office. I want it to be a post office. I want LEGO to do a post office, but more realistically, it's probably just the lobby of an apartment building, a swanky apartment building, or that's probably what it is, right? Apartment building or you know, converted condo, because these are definitely post office boxes down here. There's a little package on top. This is actually attached to the side, so a little bit of studs on the side construction, you know, to good effect in a small space. And there's also a reception counter over here, so that's supposed to represent a TV on the wall behind there, although it's kind of low, so I'm not exactly sure about that, but the shaping of that desk is fine. Up to the next level, well, this looks like a kitchenette to me, and look at that. Doesn't that look nice? I mean, just as it is, that view right there is good. It feels well designed. It looks nice. It looks comfortable. You got the fridge over there. Unfortunately, as this is set up right now, a person would not be able to sit there particularly effectively because their right arm, the arm closest to the wall, would not really fit into that space. But I think that the chair is up against the wall there so that you're not able to easily push in this window, which is actually a door. See, they're using the doors as window panes, which is good use of parts. This one is blocked by the back of the countertop there. You know, the other side is blocked by the chair. So yeah, just put something else there, I think, in the space instead to block it. But that right there just looks so good. I wouldn't want to change anything there. It's really inspiring to me personally. And then up here, you got like a living area. This is obviously an artsy person. You know, lots of color. They got their string lights or rope light up on the wall. They got their guitar on a stand, a nice little bookshelf, and a fancy retro style of a love seat or just chair, you know. It's kind of cool. Some plants up on the wall as well. Yeah, nice little space. And this is actually a keyboard, just a small little electric keyboard that's set up there. Yeah. And the little area rug here is a nice touch as well. Helps to keep some of the plates together. So again, good use of the parts that were available. And up top is just an office. So I'm assuming that's supposed to represent a typewriter there. Maybe an electric typewriter, something relatively small, but definitely not a computer. At least so as far as I can tell, it's probably not supposed to represent a computer. Another bookshelf on the side with books in it. Almost more books than the bookstore modular had in it. I can't stop making fun of that. A little plant. The chair is on a little turntable. Got your coffee mug there and a small banker style lamp. Yeah, and then that's it. So we come up to here. You can open these windows outward for a little bit of ventilation if it's hot. But of course, obviously, there's no wall here, but you have to imagine that there is a wall there, right? There's more to this. The world doesn't end where things are cut off in the Lego and miniatures world in general. But that's it. Each of the spaces does have room for at least one minifigure to be there, to potentially be posed in multiple spots. This one here could most likely comfortably have two figures in it. And then similarly down here, at least two. You can put one back here and then one coming in, maybe a third, I'd say, down here. So they made good use of the depth of the plates. All of this depth remains the same right up to the very top. You have a couple of exposed hollow studs there from studs on the side pieces. It's kind of the worst thing. I think the thing that stands out the most in the most negative way. Maybe the studs towards the front, I don't know. They don't bother me that much, but just overall, there's a lot of good stuff going on with this for what it is. With respect to this, I have to reiterate some of what I said about the B model, the kind of inverted U-shaped thing, or maybe inverted Y-shaped thing. This has many aspects, or at least some aspects about it, that are superior to the main model. Mostly because of the depth and the density of interior detail, but then mostly accessibility, but also the consistency of color scheme through here. I don't know. In spite of the fact that there are a ton of colors used there, it works. I think it absolutely works. Just a couple things could have been made a little bit better, but as something that's effectively a spare parts or leftover parts type of build, I think this is very, very good. I could imagine some people liking this one more than the B model or the A model. I really could see that being a possibility because, I think there's enough goodness here. It almost would have been a better idea for the designer to focus on this and to get this right first and then do a smaller build. Of course, that's not how it actually works. The budget is done for the big build and everything. I think the concept, just finally going back now that I've done all three builds, the concept for this set is generally good, generally sound, but the execution for the whole thing, and especially for the main model, just didn't quite stick the landing for me, especially with just how little depth there is in the main one. If a C model, not even to the B, but the C model can feel this much more right, not such a good sign. And that's just okay, You win some, you lose some. Lego's putting out hundreds of sets per year, hundreds of full-on box sets. And I say that not as an excuse, but I say that as just an indication of understanding, And I think we should understand as well that they're not always going to get it right. And I think that that's okay. For $140 for this set, if you don't like the value, I completely understand it, because something like this right here, I would value this at probably, $70? I could see them selling this for $70. I don't know what the part count is like or anything. I don't care that much, but just the volume of stuff. Yeah. And this is good. This is what I would want out of a set. The B model, probably similar, honestly. The last one that I did, I like this better than the B model for a number of reasons. And then the main model also, I think, needed some discount for what little access to minifigs and play and posing that it gives you, as well as just the limits on how much display value was there. So overall, it's interesting, not worth the money, or just for the full retail price of it. If you can find it at a significant discount, maybe, I don't know, a season from now, 2 seasons from now, then it's definitely a useful part, a very good parts pack, as this C model, the leftover of the leftover, the behind of the behind, the orphan of orphans, I think demonstrates. So thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed taking a look at each of these and hearing my thoughts about them. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.